And now, KVRH Radio, the first in thrill on the radio, is proud to bring you that man who knows death like a friend and mystery like a brother, Eddie Mackin, Private Eye, a full two-fisted and chain-smoking half hour of detectives, dames, adventure, and death. Now, we go into the program with tonight's adventure, Red Christmas.
Get this and get it straight. I'm not a Holmes, Spade, or a Marlowe. I'm just a detective a little too caring about his fellow man for his own good. This time, the haunts of past mistakes haunt me at every turn. Nightmares better left in the dark, and the cold fear of the light of day were all interrupted by the cheery season of forgiveness and peace towards fellow men, which in the end were shattered. It happened like this.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make that Yuletide gay. From now on, your troubles would be... Say, Ed, it's getting to be about 10. Can't we sit down and catch some sleep?
Sure. Everybody hunker down. Kowalski, Terry, Crenshaw, you boys take first watch. Rogers, Dugan, Harrison, Thomas, dig some trenches. Yes, sir, Sarge. Oh, and Merry Christmas, Sarge. Merry Christmas to you too, Crenshaw. Kowalski, get over here with that radio. Sergeant Mackin, U.S. Marine Corps, calling out to field headquarters, over.
HQ to Mackin. HQ to Sergeant Mackin. Read you, over. Keep constant watch. North Koreans appearing and retaliate, over.
Copy that, HQ, laying down for night. Talk in morning, over.
1000 hours, hold position. Battalion catch up in the morning. Night, Sergeant, over.
Copy, over.
Ed! I see something up on the ridge. I think it's a snipe.
Hold the digging! Crenshaw!
Grenade! Hit the dirt!
Night attack! Up and at him! Richard to the northeast! Sniper! Tellin, Thomas, I want fire on his position! Dugan, Henderson, I want fire on anything that moves to the north or west! Kowalski, get that radio cranking, and I want Rogers! You check on Crenshaw!
HQ, this is 1st Marine Division, Scout Branch, led by Sergeant Edwin Mackin. Can you copy? We're under fire, unknown number of troops, coming in bearing north-northwest, out of tree line, over.
Coming in left flank, surprising fire! They're coming in, right flank, stop! Thomas! Crenshaw's done, sir. Alright, Tellin, I want a line on that hill, throw a flasher!
Sure thing, Ed.
God, there's gotta be at least 300 men!
HQ, do you copy? You have contact with at least 200 enemies. Remote valley. We have left 6 men, 2 casualties. Need air support, bearing in on our position. Copy. HQ!
What's the situation, Terry?
Crenshaw dead. Thomas dead. Kowalski's radio is... dead, sir. Shot through the back.
Well, we need to... Mortars! Fall back! Head for the trees! Don't stop till we reach them! As I ran through the forest, fast as my legs could carry me, I could still hear the Chinese pounding down behind us. They came over the ridge like an ocean and covered the hills like ants. Terry fell in behind me, stopping every few feet to return fire. I stopped short of the trees to lay down suppressing fire. Kowalski ran past me and never looked back. Dugan was hit in the leg and fell. Henderson bent to pick him up. He was dead by the time he hit the snow. Dugan threw a grenade back, but soon enough he was gone too. The Chinese stamped over to them and continued to rush us. I screamed to Tellin to book it. We ran through the trees, scared and frozen. Soon, though, I was alone. Running as the Chinese ran over the tops of those trees, and I ran and ran and ran, but I couldn't get away. The mortar went off, and I fell to the ground and turned to watch the wave of Chinese pour over me.
I'll be home for Christmas.
I heard Bing Crosby sing "I'll Be Home for Christmas" in my head. The Chinese had bayonets pointed at my chest. I closed my eyes, and I felt the bullets rattle through me. and I woke up sweating, screaming, and panting in the safety of my room on the 3rd floor of the San Francisco Sunshine boarding house, which I now called home. I threw my legs over the side of the bed. I pulled myself out of bed and pulled on my pants and shirt and shoes and walked down the stairs past the ancient elevator and under the giant chandelier. Christmas music played softly from the radio in room 23B. I set the coffee pot behind the counter of the restaurant on the burner and sat myself down at the counter, head in my hands.
Eddie?
Oh, Kate. Sorry, I didn't hear you come in.
Ed, are you okay?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm doing fine.
You had another drink, didn't you?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, Eddie.
She wrapped me in a hug, and only the finishing of that coffee brew tore her away. I wish she didn't. She poured me a cup, and I was just pouring the sugar in when I saw the front door fly open.
Oh, can I help you, sir?
The man was old, not bent and decrepit like Scrooge, but alert and observant like an aged Sherlock Holmes. He was taller than most men, and his thick spectacles set a ghastly glimmer across his face. He was dressed in a business suit not a day over 1923, and his rounded collar sported a Windsor tie, no less. He had a cane, which he used amply. He leaned on it for support and searched the inside of the house before he entered. "My name's Gregor Hammett of Transcontinental Investigation Services, otherwise known as a TCIS man. I'm looking for one Edwin Mackin. He's a private eye listed as having his office here."
Well, Eddie's indisposed at the moment. I could maybe...
"I'm Edwin Mackin, PI. What can I do for you, Mr. Hammett?" "Oh no, dear boy. It's what I can do for you." He sat down at the bar beside me. He ordered a cup of coffee and removed his glove. On his right mid-finger, he wore a ring of purest opal I had ever seen. That is, except for the one I wore on my right middle finger. "My boy, I've been looking for you since 1943. It's good to finally find you. You look well." "Can I ask how I know you, Mr. Hammett?" "I've known you since you were a boy. Your grandfather, Gershwin Mackin, was my mentor and greatest friend. He's the one who bestowed me this large opal ring. He was a Pinkerton man, you know." "I know. My old man hated him for it. Look, it's been a long night, and it's not even quite 4, so I don't mean to be rude, but how can I help you?" "Son, I made your granddaddy a promise. I told him I'd take care of you, and I intend to keep that promise. What I have for you is..." "Look, Mr. Hammett, I'm a big boy now. I can take care of myself, thanks." I know you can. But what if I told you could make $400 a week?" "Look, I thought about being an actor a long time ago and decided against it." "No, boy! In your own profession. Come work for the San Francisco branch of TCIS. As a detective, we'd give you cases and a steady salary. Here's a $500 sign-on bonus. Buy a car, a new suit, boy. We only serve the best." "Kate, how long has it been since I paid you?"
Eddie, it doesn't matter. Grandma thinks of you as part of the...
"Tell me, Katie."
4 months back, which you didn't even make a full payment. But really, Eddie...
I'm in. Where's the office?" 564 Brush Street, next to a big church. Can't miss it. No sign in the window, though. We're the whole building. You start immediately. Mackin, your first case starts tonight. We'll get you dressed and on your way." "So, what exactly am I doing?" "You're going to solve a murder of a woman from over 100 years ago. You see, Mackin, over 100 years ago, in this city, there lived a beautiful woman named the Countess de Ortega de Anza. She was born and raised here in San Francisco in the way of old Spanish royalty. However, she was not true royalty, for about the time of her 18th birthday, the Mexican-American War was in full swing and the secret siege of the city had begun. This beautiful countess had become a captive of Captain John B. Montgomery, who had claimed the city the captive property of the USA. The countess had been given a beautiful red opal necklace by the local parish for Christmas, a sign of their loyalty to Mexico. The stone was much like the color of your ring there, but bigger. Big enough to cover the whole neck, they say. Under Montgomery's command, there was an evil and defiant sergeant named Spencer, who heard of the stone. He arrived to woo the senorita on Christmas, but when he discovered that she had given the stone back to the parish, he killed the countess and stole the stone from the mission. That's how it got its name, the Red Christmas. Montgomery ordered his arrest and hanging, but nowhere could he be found. He disappeared but did not leave San Francisco. He died 3 years later in a barroom brawl, and the stone was not in his person. His last words were, "That, like the stone, I shall rest now with the angels." Little of it was heard past that, just a piece here or there, until this finally came to our possession. An old man who identified himself as Father Carlyle had shown us this page of Captain Montgomery's journal, stating the stone never left the city, and in fact was kept as a memento of Montgomery's until he hid the stone within the city. He has paid TCIS over $14,000 to get it back. He has paid me $16,000 to get it back quicker. That's where you come in, boy. No one knows you as of yet and can work easily. $8,000's yours if you can get it first. He wants to put it on a star at the top of the church Christmas tree. You've got 2 days before Santa's ride, boy. Good luck. Telephone Bush 314 if you get stuck. Extension 40. With that, the old man slinked down the stairs. My grandfather had mentioned him, and indeed he met the description. I slipped on a gray tie and pulled my hat on over my trench coat, and took the note card and headed for the first logical place to look, City Records. After a quick 20 was slipped to an old watchman, he let me observe the records in the basement, and yes, they did hint at the stone being in the city up till 1929, when it supposedly showed up at Alfred's Steakhouse, where a beggar offered to sell it to a Johnson Roman. I rubbed my tired eyes and went back to the hotel. I asked Kate to dinner and slept until I was to reach the restaurant at 5 when the place first opened.
I've heard of this place, but I've never thought I'd get to eat here. Thanks so much, Eddie.
Sure thing, Kate.
Look at all the decorations.
Yeah. Say, go sit down while I grab a drink from the bar,
Sure thing.
Jack and Coke, please.
Yep.
Say, you know a guy named Johnson Roman?
Yeah, that's me.
Sorry. Say, did you at some point or another get an offer to buy a stone called the Red Christmas?
Sure did. Bought it too. A worthless piece of junk. Glass, I think. Sold it to a fellow named Kowalski.
First name?
Why so inquisitive, bud?
I'll give you 5. Name?
Victor Kowalski, former Marine. Comes in here sometimes.
Really? You don't say.
Yeah, he's right there if you want to talk to him.
Thanks. Vic?
Can I help you? Oh, Sergeant Mackin. God, Ed, how's it been?
Good, you?
Could be better. I'll be living large in about 6 hours.
Do tell.
Look, Sergeant, nothing against you, but I don't want to talk about it, really.
Aw, come on, Kowalski. I haven't seen you since at least 10 months or so ago. I want to know how my boys are striking it rich.
Nah, sorry, Ed, I'd rather not.
Come on, Vic. Tell your old...
Get out of my face, Mackin. I ain't in the service no more. I don't have to tell you a thing.
Well, okay, easy, Kowalski. He'd stepped out of his chair and was standing menacingly over me. He was in a flannel brown shirt and a leather jacket. He looked like a man about to travel. I eased off and he sat down.
Sorry, Ed. Create my nerves up, you know?
It's fine, Vic. Happened to everyone. Look, I'm gonna level with you, Vic. I'm a private eye now on a case for TCIS. I'm looking for an opal called the Red Christmas.
She warned me they'd send someone. I never thought my own brother-in-arms would be the one doing it, though.
Who told you what, Vic?
I did.
Excuse me, miss?
This is my partner, Ed. This is Evangelista Ortega. We call her Eva.
I see. Okay, not Ortega de Anzo, would it?
Who is this joker, and how does he know so much?
He's an old friend, Eva. Don't worry. I don't know how he knows this much.
Alright, pal. Go back and tell your boss he's done. I beat him to the punch. It's mine anyway.
And is that little .22 automatic supposed to scare me?
No, just make you believe, Fluta.
Since when is flute in Spanish an insult? Look, Ortega, Kowalski, give it up now and they'll even give you a reward for the return of the opal. You can't sell it, so why not make some fast cash?
He's got a point, Eva.
Shut up! He's just trying to con us into showing him the opal.
He ain't like that, Eva. He's really not. He's about the best guy
Trouble here?
Yeah, this is a private cupper. Keep him here. We're going for the opal. Meet us at the usual place. Adios.
Don't do nothing funny now, boy.
What's going on, Ed?
Can't you see the man's indisposed?
He's my date, I'll have you know.
Well, girlie, it just so happens that...
Sorry, lady. Kate, get the car and follow me. I gotta catch those two.
Who? The two getting in the gray Packard?
Yeah! Stop!
Get back, Ed.
The car won't start.
Run!
Kowalski, give it up! My goodness, who do you think
Out of the
you
way.
are? I'm sorry.
Hey, look out where you're going!
Never!
Sorry, ma'am. Police business. Hey, quit shooting at me, Vic!
Jump on that trolley.
Right!
Stop! Oh my goodness! Hey, pal, you can't just push me out of the way! Hey, stop, you! I'm a police officer. You stop right there, young man. You can't just push me. Hey, where do you think you're going? Stop! I jumped onto the trolley and grabbed the handle at the last moment, pulling myself aboard just in time to see the two jump off and run for a car that an elderly lady was just getting out of. I jumped the train and ran towards it. They pushed the old lady out of the way and sped off. I stopped in the street and watched them take off. Kate!
Get in!
Okay, hey, easy, Kate! As the car sped off through the streets, we tore by a Salvation Army Santa, knocking him off his feet. And I threw some change his way as a sorry present. The McKay's Pierce Arrow flew down the streets chasing the little old Ford that Kowalski and company had stolen. We chased them over town, running red lights, cutting corners, and over sidewalks. Passersby, shop street sweepers, and beat cops flung themselves every direction to get out of the way. Kate, look out for the flower stand!
Is it bad?
No, there's just poinsettias all over the hood. We chase them all over town, up and down the catty-cornering streets, through alleys, across City Hall, past Fisherman's Wharf, and through the bustling downtown traffic. We chased them through the whole city, till at last their tires came to a stop in front of the old Mission Dolores, where the two ran for the inside, something oblong tucked under Kowalski's arm. I told Kate to park the car, took out my .32 and ran for the entrance where the two had disappeared. As I came into the door to the chapel, I was met with a hail of machine gun fire. I hit the dirt and waited until I heard the gun run out of bullets, and the chamber opened for a new clip. I raised myself up and saw the two cowering near the pulpit, reloading. I sprinted up the main corridor and threw myself between two pews as the bullets rained down on the wood above me. I repeated the same process as before, letting loose two bullets, which hit Kowalski in the arm. Ortega pulled a grenade from somewhere. I assumed her purse and raised it above her head. I trained my gun on her. "Don't throw it!" I yelled.
I'm going to blow you and this whole God bless chapel sky high if you take one more step.
Jeez!
Okay, all right.
Put the gun down.
You got it! Just as I did so, the doors flung open and Terry Tellen rushed in, gun trained on the girl at the pulpit.
Police! Give it up! You're all under arrest.
Need dust cover.
And with that, she threw the grenade toward Terry and it landed at my feet in the hall. I grabbed it without thinking and turned and ran.
Ed! What are you doing?
I sprinted by him and several other confused officers and bolted out the doors. I was holding the pin down, praying that it didn't come loose.
Eddie!
Ed!
Oh, Eddie! Eddie!
What's going on here?
Mackin's dead and the opal's in the chapel someplace.
What? Was that the explosion I heard?
Oh, Eddie!
It's a horrible Christmas gift if I ever heard it. Make it through a war and end up dead from a grenade on the home front?
Who said I was dead?
Eddie!
That's me. A grenade can be thrown more than once, you know.
Oh, Eddie!
Whoa! Ed, sometimes you gotta teach me how to get women to just kiss me like that.
Yep, Kate. Kowalski found the opal in the pulpit where the sergeant under Montgomery hid it. And that's what he'd meant by "it rests with the angels." The angels at the mission. The modern-day robbers couldn't take it because Kowalski got drafted, and he was the only one who knew where it was actually at. Ortega couldn't find it, neither could Roman, so that's how it went down, all right. All's well that ends well. All three are in the clink, and the church has its opal back. Merry Christmas for everyone.
Gosh, Ed, you're so brave.
Thanks, Kate. Or just stupid.
Well, either way, I think you're just wonderful.
Thanks, Kate. You know, I thought I should point out that we're...
Under a mistletoe? Oh, I know. I've just been waiting for you to notice.
Woo-hoo-hoo! I saw Mommy kissing Santa
Who cares about
Claus.
Chris Kringle when I have you, Ed?
Well, Merry Christmas to one and all.
And God bless us, everyone.
Have a merry little Christmas, everyone.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas from Eddie Mackin.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Good evening, everyone, and this is Avery Martinez here, writer, director, and, well, Eddie Mackin himself, you could say. I want to wish you all a very personal and heartfelt Merry Christmas this season, especially to our troops overseas. Mackin may not have actually seen active combat, but his thoughts, as well as ours, are with our military, thanking them for their sacrifice. We wish all of you a very Merry Christmas season and a most joyous New Year. In the cast tonight were Sarah Matus, Avery Martinez as Eddie Mackin, Kyria Hansen as Katie McKay, Isaac Kelsch, Malene Simonson, and Dean Johnson as our announcer. We'll be back next week with a very special edition of Mackin Showcase, bringing you the hour-long Christmas spectacular, It's a Wonderful Life. Originally made by Frank Capra into a award-winning movie and one of the greatest stories in moviedom, in my opinion, let alone Christmas, we will be bringing you our own version of the 1947 Lux Radio Theater edition of It's a Wonderful Life at 7 o'clock next week. Be sure to set your dials for there at 7 o'clock. Hour-long program. It's definitely going to be a blast. It's going to be beautiful. But until we meet again, have a very Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out at YouTube at Eddie Mackin, EDDIEMACKIN, Private Eye, at youtube.com. Or check out our Facebook page at Eddie Mackin Detective Agency. Just type that right in the search bar. We should be the first thing that comes up. Please feel free to send me a YouTube message or subscribe to our videos online. All of you guys have a very wonderful and Merry Christmas. May there be many presents under your tree. Goodbye, everybody.